So guys, before we get started, don't forget we do have that amazing discount code thanks to Tier 0 Games going on right now. And all you have to do is put in ZWGames5 to get 5% discount on your total order at tier0games.com. The links will be in the description below. What's up YouTube, Dale here from Z4 Games, bringing you a Chaos Max competitive build. Now, when you build Blue Eyes and when you build Chaos Max, you could be built many different ways. You obviously have the Chaos Max version, you have the normal Blue Eyes version, and then you have versions which have spicy little text in it. Some people use Ibli, the one that when it is used as a link summon, it will go to its opponent's side of the field. Some people use Kaijus, some people even use the Galaxy Soldier into Infinity Engine. This one is very, very special, and shout outs to Chris and Marley who actually run this tech of creature swap in the deck. And I'm also putting in some other little areas of this deck. Now, the technique behind this deck is to basically one-shot your opponent. So stun their opponent, like go second, stun your opponent, break their board, pull it apart, make Chaos Max, attack the game, that's it, done, dusted. Chaos Max is one of the most scary ritual monsters to ever drop on an opponent, incredibly powerful as well. If you want to make this a little bit more balanced, you can put in some go first cards as well, and I'll also show you some options as we go through the deck for some cheaper options, some budget options, and some other cards you can put in to kind of replace some of the more costly ones and to go a different route. So without further ado, I'm going to take you through the profile of Blue Eyes Chaos Max. So of course it is no Blue Eyes Chaos Max deck if it does not contain 3 Blue Eyes Chaos Max. Now some people play this at 2, which is completely understandable, but in this build we want to see it as soon as we possibly can. This is your match winner. Now, in this build particularly is a lot more, you need a lot more pieces to get this going. Now technically to ritual summon this card, all you need is itself and the advanced ritual arc. You send Blue Eyes from deck to grave. You then need the ability to get creature swap and a monster with 0 attack on the board. So you do need a bit more of a hand to one-shot your opponent, but that's where other cards within the deck come into play as well. We then play the one Blue Eyes Chaos Dragon, like the baby Blue Eyes Chaos Max. This actually helps you with your OTK because basically when it is summoned, it can't be destroyed by card effect, and when it attacks, it shifts all of your monsters, all of your opponent's monsters as possible to defense and makes them all 0. So again, it needs a bit of a setup. So the idea is you need to be able to get both of these on board. And the one piece of advice that I say to you guys is do not put Chaos Max on the board if you cannot finish the game off, because your opponent can make Borrow Sword and Borrow Load and steal your own Chaos Max and finish you off with that. And you do not want that to happen. So the idea is you only drop Chaos Max on your opponent when you have the chance to go for game. We then play 2 Blue Eyes. Now, the only reason that we're playing 2 Blue Eyes is we don't actually want these in our hand. We do not play alternative. I know straight away by me saying that, you're like, whoa, how can you not play alternative? When I initially thought of the idea to build this deck, I was like, right, I can keep it budget. Let's go, let's see what we can do. And then I ran into Bingo, and I was like, ah, crap. Bingo's like 25 plus card. So you can put alternatives in here. The only reason I haven't is because it doesn't actually contribute towards the Chaos Max OTK. Now, it does give you another level 8 on board. It does allow you to go into level 8 XYZ summons as well. But that is not the focus of this build. The focus of this build, like I said, is to get either the baby Chaos Max and the big Chaos Max, or get into an incantation, creature swap it, play Chaos Max, boom, one-shot game. Now, Sleeper cannot stop your Chaos Max because it can't be targeted or destroyed. Appaloosa cannot stop it because this effect does not activate. It is a continuous effect to deal piercing. Or so I believe. If it can stop it, then you're going to have to work around that. We do play Lava Golem. Now, Lava Golem is the only card in our main deck that uses up our normal summon. Now, again, that does mean that we do not play Manju. We do not play any other cards like that. Manju can certainly be put into the deck to add consistency to make sure you get the pieces you need. But what we want to focus on is we want to be able to focus on the creature swap plays to give that to our opponent to one-shot them with Chaos Max. So going back onto the alternatives, they didn't really add much to the extension of the board and wasn't really required in my opinion, so I've kind of cut them out. Moving on to the incantations, we play triple Kandar, double Talismandra, single Pencil Vesta, and a single Bookstone alongside a single Chalice Line. Now again, these ratios can be played around with. the chances are we only play 4 ritual monsters, so you actually want to have the incantations that say reveal a ritual spell in hand over the ritual monsters. Now you can search the monsters out quite consistently, but you can also, with Bingo, search out the spells as well. You have three spell cards in the deck that searches out the monsters, and 3 spell cards in the deck that searches out the spells and or monsters. So you do have a lot of consistency with that one, and Manju will of course help that. So if you want to take out the Lava Golems, you can. The only reason that Lava Golem is kept in the build is purely because it's another alternative to break your opponent's board, and if you can't quite finish game, as long as you can do them 7k damage, the Lava Golem will finish them off. Moving on to the spells, we do play triple the Melody of Awakening Dragon. This searches you out pretty much all the Blue Eyes monsters you need. It can search you out 2 Chaos Maxes if you need. It can search you out a normal Blue Eyes. It can also search you out the baby Blue Eyes Max. So all you need is 2 ritual spells and technically 1 to 2 or maybe 1 monster in hand or 1 monster on field that you can use as ritual fodder. Now, with Lava Golem, I chose to use that over the Kaijus purely because we are playing the deck I wanted to keep at 40, and I wanted to have as many spells that would search me the pieces that I need as possible with the monsters that were going to get me game. That is the direct route of this build, is to get you game. Then of course we've got triple Bingo Go, or Bingo Machine Go. This is so important, but it can be swapped out if you want it to. Now, Bingo Go, if you were to swap this out, I'd put more board breaking cards in there. I would put in like 3 Kaijus, but that will come with another card as well that I'm going to show you next as well, is triple Pot of Avarice. Now I'll explain this, not Pot of Avarice, sorry, Pot of Extravagance. Now this goes hand in hand, and when I was looking at the deck I was like, you really don't need your extra deck at all. The only reason you need your extra deck would be for Super Poly plays. Sometimes rank 8 plays if you really want to, but the idea is, like I said, you get Chaos Max, you one-shot your opponent, that is it. You will put some rank 8 in the extra deck purely because that when you are forced to go first, you can set up some defensive plays. Other than that, you do a lot of searching and not actual drawing, so Extravagance is a very powerful card right now. If you want to budget options for Extravagance, I would take these out and put trade-ins in. That is where you can then put more Kaijus in. Now the reason I don't play the Kaijus is because I don't play trade-in. So because I don't play trade-in, I want to minimise the cards that are going to brick me because I'm not going to be able to send them to grave to draw. It's also the reason that I don't play the revival spells in this deck as well, because the idea is I don't want to be reviving my Blue Eyes. I just want to go Chaos Max, boom, game, done. It is a 1-route Hail Mary deck, but that is kind of the design that I've gone for with this deck. That being said, it can easily break Spiral boards if you get the right matchup and right hand. Their most powerful board is Trigate with Appaloosa plus a Sleeper. Now, you can get past that quite easily because if you were to play stuff like Extravagance, it's the first card that they have to negate. After that, then means your ritual spells are free to go through. So is Super Poly. And the second you get your Chaos Max on board, as long as you get an incantation to go along with it in a creature swap, they are pretty much done for. Not to mention, Chaos Max just swings straight over Sleeper without having to use its effect or anything like that, and then Sleeper will then nuke the board. Puts them back to square one. They've already burnt most of their resources. They're going to seriously struggle to move further forward from there as well. So if you take out Extravagance, you put in trade-in. That's a simple 3-for-3 swap. And then you would take out Bingo Go, and that would be your Manjus. That would be your additional searches that get you the second half of what you need to complete the OTK. For the ritual spells, we then... Oh, actually, let's do this one first. Play Triple Super Poly. This is your board-breaking card. I'll show you the extra deck and you'll understand why. I've gone very heavy on this, purely because Evening Match is probably one of the best go second cards right now, but with Chaos Match you need your battle phase. And like I said, there's no real way in this build to go, okay, I've cleared your board with Evenly Matched, I'm now going to build a very defensive board. Now the best defensive board that a Blue Eyes deck, in my opinion, can put out is an Infinity plus like a Link 2 plus Infinity plus like a Spirit Dragon. And it gets better in Master Rule 5 because then you don't have to worry about that Link card. Now, being able to bypass that Link card means you haven't got to put so many resources in building up the board. Which is why I think right now in this build, Super Poly is better because it allows you to still have your battle phase. Not to mention, if you use Super Poly at the right time on the right monsters, you'll also be left with a level 8 monster. So should you want to make a rank 8 monster, and like I said, you make the Super Poly, let's say you're going to Starving Venom, bring down your Chaos Max, you cannot afford to leave your Chaos Max on the board. So you would attack with Chaos Max, attack with Starving Venom. If you haven't won the game there, you then have to overlay into a rank 8. And the best rank 8 you can go for is something like Zombie Stun, which requires 2 Darks, which is great because so is Chaos Max. or you go into Hope Harbinger as well, and it gives you a little bit more protection, but it then means that once you've exhausted your resources on that one, the chances are your Hope Harbinger is going to get beaten, and you need to survive the OTK and then build your board back up again, which is why we are going for the one-shot, one-kill kind of play. Draw Call by the Grave, just so that you can stop the Ash. Now, the best thing with Extravagance is it is the best bait out for an Ash. It is not the end of the world if you do not draw off of Extravagance. It does help massively, of course, but with Call by the Grave, if they do decide to Ash the Extravagance, that's it, you haven't got to worry about it. If they don't, and they hold on to it, or you don't have the Extravagance and they hold on to it for something like your Melody of Arabian Dragon, which is going to neg you too, because you don't forget you have to discard as cost, and they're going to try and Ash that, that's where Call by the Grave is at its strongest and where you need it most. Then for the ritual spells, we do play Triple Advanced Ritual Art. This is the best one because it just allows you to ritual summon any ritual monster, and then you send normal monsters from your deck to the graveyard, which is great. And that combos off nicely with Chaos Form, because Chaos Form allows you to then banish the Blue Eyes from the graveyard, and because it lists Blue Eyes in its name, it is searchable off of Bingo as well. For the final ritual spell we play is the one Incantation Inception, purely because, again, slightly searchable as well as being very, very important, and allows you to kind of recur some of your resources. Then finally, we do play Triple Creature Swap. This is the fun tech OTK play of the deck. I couldn't find my third one. Believe it or not, there's been so many reprints, I probably should have been able to find one. So I've proxied it in for a Blue Eyes right now. That is your 40 card deck. Now, the best thing with Creature Swap is both players select their own monster. So even if a monster is immune by either card effect, it's affecting your opponent. That means you can choose to give them the incantation, which is what you want to do. You want to put an incantation in defense mode, give it to your opponent straight away as soon as a Blue Eyes attacks that, game done. Now think of it in the Spiral matchup or the Spiral board. They'll probably give you Trigate if they've already used it. They're not going to give you an Appaloosa, they're not going to give you the Sleeper, and they're not going to give you the Link 2 on the left hand side. They possibly could if they feel they're going to survive the turn. Either way, whatever they give you is only going to add more damage onto the board. As soon as you give them that incantation, and like I said, do not do it unless you have the ability to make your Chaos Max and swing it for game, that will then be game. They've got no way of stopping that. Drop Chaos Max down, go to battle phase, swing, game, bang, done. So that is it for the main deck. Moving on to the extra deck. Now the extra deck isn't complete because it all comes down to your personal preference. Now by personal preference, what I mean is you put in the ratios to make up 15 of what you like. Now, I'd advise 3 rank 8 monsters in the form of course, your Hope Harbinger, your Zombie Stein, and then maybe Lancelot or any other rank 8 you want. The remaining 12 cards can be a mixture of any of these cards that you wish. In a mixture of 2s, 1s, 3s, it depends on the local suspense, it depends on the place you're going to, and it depends on what you're going to face. So we'll start off with, obviously, the Shadow matchup. Chaos Max is a dark monster, believe it or not, so you can actually window your own opponent. Great. They're obviously going to set a lot of monsters, so you can do a heck of a lot of damage. Super Poly, take away their fusion monster and go into a window, and that's going to slow them down. Construct, Blue Eyes is a light monster, so should you get Blue Eyes onto the board, very rare that you will do in this particular build, you can construct it. Otherwise, you just Super Poly your opponent's board away in a Shadow matchup. For the Spiral matchup, you've got Earth Golem at Ignited because it requires 1 Link monster and a Cyverse monster. Trigate is a Cyverse monster, and you take away their Appaloosa as well. You've then got your World Dragon Armaduke. This is obviously going to rip apart the Spiral board because it requires 3 Link monsters, and that is what they need to make the Trigate play. Then, of course, Salamandrake's making a popular return after their YCS Utrecht win. Obviously, got to put that one in there. Rockets having massive popularity right now. This requires 2 Dark Dragons. Believe it or not, Blue Eyes are dragon monsters, and Chaos Max is a dark monster. But 9 times out of 10, you just rip your opponent's board apart. And the best thing about this one is it is a level 8 as well. So is Violent Chimera, so is Construct, and I'm pretty sure the Ignister is as well. 2, 4, 6, no, the Ignister's a 7. Armaduke is a 9. So you've got level 8 there, so you can make rank 8 plays off the back of that. Then, of course, you've got your generic Predaplants. You've got your Predaplant Dracostapelio, your Starving Venom Fusion Dragon, and then, of course, you've got the Mud Dragon of the Swamp for those rogue matchups, should you need it. Now, like I said, the Super Poly is there just to break your opponent's board. So you want to build your deck with 15 cards that are going to be effective against wherever you are going to attend with this deck, and then against whatever you feel is going to be played. After that, like I advise, I'd probably advise 2 Mud Dragon at the very least. The Shadows are very, very popular, so I'd definitely advise at least 1 window and 1 construct, if not 2 of each. Your World Chalice, if you think you're going to be playing a lot of Spirals, is better than the Ignister, because 9 times out of 10, when they build that board, they are going to leave it more in the Guard Dragon area than they are for the Ignister. If you feel you're going to play a lot of Salads, definitely put 2 of this in. If you think you're only going to play 1 or 2, put 1 of those in. Exact same thing with Rockets as well. If you think your locals or the event you're taking this to is going to be flooded with Rockets, then you'd put in 2 Borrowed Furious Dragons. If you think they're probably not going to be seen, and there's probably going to be 1 or 2, you can risk it off of the Avarice and put 1, Extravagance, sorry, and put 1 in. Now, of course, if you are not playing Extravagance, you do not need to flood your deck like this, your extra deck like this. You'd actually play a lot more rank 8s, purely because you play a lot of rank 8 Kaijus as well. So once you've Kaiju'd your opponent, killed it, you can then overlay your Kaiju with your Chaos Max or your Blue Eyes, whatever you have on board, and then go from there. Moving further forward, you would also put in, I don't know if the dog agrees or disagrees, clearly not. So going further forward from there as well, it then comes down to the playstyle that you want to make. Now, like I said, in this build, we are going 1, 2, 3, kill. 1, 2 being, you know, Chaos Form, Creature Swap, Chaos Max. Done. 1, 2, 3, kill. Now, it is a very, very fun deck. I love Chaos Max. It's one of the, it's my personal choice for a Blue Eyes deck. But I can understand why people play the pure Blue Eyes as well, because it is incredibly fun. And I also understand the other versions of Blue Eyes that you can make. Now, I did say that I would make a budget version for this deck as well. And like I said, to be able to make this a little bit more budget, you would go with your... take the Extravagance out, go into your trade-ins, take out the Lava Golems, or you could even take out the Bingo Machines, sorry. Take out the Bingo Machines, take out your Extravagance, go in with free trade-in, and then probably 3 Kaijus or 3 Manjus, just to increase the consistency of the build a little bit more as well. It does run the risk of being able to brick itself, because you do play a lot of heavy level 8s, but the idea is that you play enough spells or more spells to kind of break your opponent's board, have enough to discard, still be able to creature swap and incantation your way through the board in order to get the pieces that you need, and then swing in with your Blue Eyes Chaos Max for that beautiful 1-card technical OTK. Chaos Max through an incantation, 8k damage instantly, nothing your opponent can do unless they have the ability to non-target destruction or non-target send your Chaos Max. Anyway, I hope you like this version of Blue Eyes. If you do have any questions, please put them down in the comments below. I'll be more than happy to answer them for you. I will be looking at more builds around this as well. And the reason that I say this build is competitive is because every time a Chaos Max is dropped on an opponent, if you drop it at the right time and you know they are not going to survive the turn, you will win. No one right now is expecting a Blue Eyes Chaos Max to be dropped on them. So the second you surprise them with cards like Creature Swap, and they're like, what are you playing? And then you drop the Super Poly on them so they can't react, they can't do anything. And then you go, Creature Swap, I'm going to give you an incantation. And the second that happens, they know a Chaos Max is coming. You just go, Chaos Max, tap the game. And there's nothing they can do. Like, people aren't playing Storming, people aren't playing Drowning. They're going to leave themselves wide open. And that is where you kind of go in for the kill and finish the game off there and then. Anyway, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Until next time, guys, as always, happy dueling.